We were sitting here for the past year or two saying, when are politicians going to even pay attention to this? And now they are paying attention to it. So first, here's your virtual flowers. Second, how are you feeling about the transition to date?
Well, I mean, I think, first of all, there's like 3 layers of the problem, which I've been trying to harp on for almost 4 years. Number one is the inefficiency and lack of accountability, which Joe and Gavin are obviously talking about. And that leads to excessive spending, and that leads to the debt problem. And the debt problem creates this kind of arithmetic death spiral, which is something you don't want to find yourself in. So that's the inevitability that I've been kind of really worried about. And I think that, look, there's the first derivative and second derivative can kind of get addressed. And then hopefully you don't get to the absolute point where you have this breaking point. I think right now everyone's banking, number one, on can we deregulate in a way that can unlock growth? And by unlocking growth, the kind of arithmetic argument is grow GDP, because you're not going to be able to shrink debt super fast. In order to grow GDP, there needs to be some unleashing happening. And so if you can get GDP to grow 4-5%, and you can minimize the excess spending, meaning you can minimize the deficit, the federal deficit, and therefore minimize the increment in the debt level, the debt to GDP ratio becomes more manageable, because ultimately you can only tax so much of GDP. So yeah, I feel like this is important in both senses. One is just cut the inefficient, wasteful spending, get rid of the regulations, and that'll unleash the necessary growth.